The redistribution of wealth cannot work, and it will never, ever, 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 ever work. And the reason is because that is not how wealth works at the end of the day. Now, I want to make something very clear from the get-go of this particular video, and that is that wealth is a godly concept, right? Like, because all silver and gold ultimately belong to him. The cattle on 1,000 hills, it's all his. Every single resource on this earth ultimately belongs to God. And God has actually structured wealth to work in a particular way and fashion. Throughout the scriptures, now again, I don't know what you believe about the Bible and so forth, but you cannot deny the truth behind how those principles of the scriptures, they are hyper effective, right? And that's up for another discussion all by itself. But let me know in the comment section down below if you agree or disagree. But throughout the scriptures, we are told to pursue wisdom, to pursue knowledge, to pursue understanding, because wisdom is more precious than gold, rubies, diamonds, and etc, right? So the point is that wisdom is supreme. Now, if we have a look at that word wisdom, it actually refers to skill, all right? Meaning the application of particular knowledge or information because you have an understanding of that particular topic, and therefore the result is you have a skill in something. And then ultimately wealth or resources are attracted to that particular asset over there, because again, income follows assets. And this is why the redistribution of wealth cannot work and will not ever work. And it's a la-di-da idea that we need to completely get out of our heads, and we need to therefore then commit ourselves to, number one, to God, number two, to the process that he set out for us, knowing that he's actually got plans to prosper us, not to harm us, plans to give us a hope and a future. And as we do so, we become skilled with regards to the gifts and the talents that he's given untowards us. And as we use those gifts and talents that God has blessed us with, and as we develop them, we get to bless other people and serve other people. And therefore, again, people are then more than willing to part with the money in their pocket, because the skill that you use to solve a particular problem that they have is worth way more compared to the money in their pocket. So even should we hypothetically take all the money of the world and equally distribute it to every single person on the earth, eventually the money is going to make its way back, or the wealth is going to make its way back to the people that know how to use it. Now, of course, there are people that abuse other individuals in order to accumulate wealth and so forth. But that's not the wealth I'm talking about. I'm talking about the true wealth that God ultimately gives. The word actually teaches us and tells us that the blessing of the Lord makes rich, and God adds no sorrow to it. So God actually wants us to be able to enjoy the blessings he blesses us with, and we do so when we realize and know that I don't need to take advantage of the brother or sister next to me, but if I can just commit to serving them at a very high level, right, I'm going to get what I'm going to ultimately get moving forward. When you help others get what they want, God will always make sure that you have what you want and need within your own life personally too. So the whole idea of redistributing wealth, it does not work. It will never be able to work, because eventually it's going to all just find its way back to the people who know how to manage and to steward it. So here's the good news. You and I can learn the skill of managing, of leading, of being a blessing, of serving others at a very high level. We can all learn these skills. We can all work hard, and hopefully work hard at the right thing. You don't want to be working hard at the wrong thing, all right, which many people unfortunately tend to do. I've made that mistake as well within my own life personally. But you want to work hard at the right thing. You can, move towards a particular vision, towards a particular goal, but it starts off with your relationship with God. Now, I know loads of people want to bypass that one over there, but I'm guaranteeing you, champ, that this is how it works. This is how it ultimately works. In order for your phone to fulfill its function, it needs to be charged, right? It needs to be connected to power. In order for a fish to fulfill its function of swimming, it needs to be in the water. In order for a plant to fulfill its function, it needs to be planted in the soil, or the right soil. It's the same with you and I. We need a relationship with God. I know that many of you try to perhaps bypass that, but that's where it all starts. And if we can just simply get back to the main thing, which is God's way of ultimately doing things, then we can begin to move towards a brighter, more brilliant, more bolder future that will hopefully not be too far away. All right, so I hope this blesses you. If you got something out of this video, please hit that like button over there. Leave a comment down below whether you agree or disagree. And may you have a lekker day further. Enjoy it there. Keep on rocking it, and know that the best is yet to come, and that your voice actually matters. Your life is actually worth something. Jesus paid the price for your life so that you can truly live and begin to fulfill the purpose that God has ultimately set out for